Hello there, my name is Steve Cunningham. I am the president and founder of Readitfor.me, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. Before we get into it, we're going to quickly go over the agenda so you know what to expect. The first thing we're going to do is a quick introduction to Readitfor.me. For those of you who are already familiar with what we do, it's going to be a good refresher. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. For those of you who are not familiar with Readitfor.me, it's going to give you a good sense of what we're all about so that you can decide whether or not a premium membership is for you. The second thing we're going to do is you're going to get a sample Readitfor.me summary. The third thing and the fourth thing, if you want to stick around after the summary, we're going to cover a couple of pretty important things. The third thing on the agenda is the most important thing I've ever uncovered from reading hundreds of business books. It's a coming shift in the job market. It has huge implications for you, huge implications for the people who work for you if you run a company, and if you're working for another company, certainly has huge implications for you. I think you want to stick around for that. It's going to be eye-opening, and I hope it inspires you to take some action towards understanding the shift that's coming and making sure that you're well-positioned to take advantage of it. The fourth thing and the last thing we're going to cover is how to use Readitfor.me to grow your mind, to grow your network, and to create a passive side income. Okay, the next thing we want to cover here today is for today only, on this video, on this landing page where you're watching this video, you have the opportunity to save $1,249 on your lifetime membership. It's $250 for a Readitfor.me lifetime membership. It's regularly $1,499, which is actually lower than our annual price at $299 a year. There's a button on the screen where you can click on that at any point today to take advantage of this offer. As soon as this video is down, as soon as this page is down, you're not going to have this opportunity on this page again. So let's jump into the introduction to Readitfor.me. At Readitfor.me, we believe that lifelong learners have an unfair competitive advantage against the rest of the world. You know, there's a saying, and this was by Truman, that all leaders are readers, and you've probably heard this saying before. Well, as it turns out, leaders or readers actually earn more money than non-readers. There was a study done in the Economic Journal that showed that children who read at least 10 non-compulsory books grow up to earn 21% more than their peers. Now, when you think about this, what kind of children are reading non-compulsory books when they're growing up? These are lifelong learners. These are people who are curious about the world and who are always voraciously consuming information so that they can get an edge on life, but also because they enjoy it. So that's one thing. The next thing is, and I just kind of took that Truman quote and twisted it for my own, those who continuously learn out-earn. And I think you're going to see this, that the people in your company who go the furthest and the people who you look up to are continuous learners and they're lifelong learners. Now, the second thing is we give our customers what we call the gift of lifetime learning by helping them stay in the game on a daily basis with learning and sharing opportunities they can participate in during the in-between moments of the day. And if you think about why some of us are not lifetime and lifelong learners these days, it's because your calendar looks a little bit something like this. Just way too busy to fit it in. You know, you get up at 6 in the morning, you're off to the gym maybe before you go to work, then you're commuting, then you got some emails to plow through, then you got meetings for the most of the day, and then you go home and you got some family time, and then you do a little bit more work because had so many meetings during the day and you didn't get caught up. Maybe you have a little bit of time to relax and then you're off to bed and you repeat it again the next day. So there is no time for lifelong learning. You certainly don't have time to crack a book and make a dent in it. But when you start to think about, well, what if we look for 10-minute increments instead of 1 hour or 2 hours? What if we start looking for 10-minute increments? And can we be doing something while we are doing other things during the day? So for instance, is there 10 minutes while you're at the gym? Maybe you're on the bike or the elliptical or the treadmill. Do you have 10 minutes to listen to an audio or to watch a video? Do you have 10 minutes on your commute to listen to a book summary? Do you have 10 minutes in between meetings during the day? Maybe 10 minutes at lunch. You get the idea. When you start looking through the lens of lifelong learning as something that takes 10 minutes a day, all of a sudden you see a lot of green spots in your schedule and you can start to get a lot of things done. You can, like we said, listen to an audio on your commute, and this is what our customers do with our service. You can bring it with the gym to you. So while you're getting your workout in, you spend 10 minutes growing your mind as well you're growing your muscles. You can do it with your morning coffee, and a lot of people tell us they do it at night with their evening stroll or their evening jog, whatever they do to unwind at the end of the day. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to find these minutes during your day. So how do we accomplish this? To accomplish this, we send you an email at 6 a.m. every single day with a new business or personal development book summary. Here's what the email looks like. There's an introduction about what the book is all about, so you know, is this something that I want to spend some more time with? There is a blue section that you can copy and paste and share with your network. We'll get into that in a little bit, or with your team. It comes at 6 a.m. daily, and the summaries are by audio and text, and many times by video. So what you have is an opportunity to learn in a lot of different learning styles, but the important part is that it comes at 6 a.m. every single day so that you are on this continuous treadmill of lifelong learning. Some days you'll dig into the book because it seems very intriguing for you. Some days you won't, and that's totally okay. The important thing is that you make this a habit and that you do it every single day. And like I said, the email includes a short version of the summary that you can share with your team or your network as often as you like, so you can start to get them engaged in this lifelong learning ritual as well. We've got a lot of customers here at Readit.me. Zappos was one of our first corporate customers. We're very honored and blessed to have them as a customer. And this is what Tony Hsieh, the CEO of Zappos, has to say about Readit.me. We use Readit.me here at Zappos, and we love it. Pursuing growth and learning is one of our core values, and Readit.me lets us do it in a fun and engaging way. And here's what Dan Pink, the New York Times bestselling author of Drive, A Whole New Mind, and To Sell is Human, has to say. Readit.me is an amazing resource. They are able to cut to the heart of an idea and communicate it in a way that is both engaging and entertaining. If you're not tuned in weekly, you're missing out big time. Okay. Let's go watch the sample video here today, and then I'll be back with you on the other side to move on to the most important thing that I've ever learned from reading hundreds of business books. Frank McKinney graduated high school with a less than stellar 1.8 GPA. Shortly after, he moved to Florida with nothing but $50 in his wallet. 16 years later, Oprah's producers interviewed him for a program about successful entrepreneurs to spotlight his latest creation, a $12 million mansion. Since then, he's built villages for over 10,000 people in Haiti through his Caring House Foundation. How did he do it? How did he go from a broke 18-year-old to a millionaire and a philanthro-capitalist? He started practicing introspection at an early age. He kept asking himself, why is this working? What's the secret of this particular success? He studied other successful people, and he succeeded himself. He distilled his observations into a series of philosophies. So far there are 49, and in this Readit.me episode, we'll summarize them for you. To learn more about Frank and his philosophies, buy Make It Big on Amazon. Part 1. Have a vision for your passion. To make it big, you have to know where you want to go and have endless passion for getting there. This section discusses how you can create a vision for your life that will keep you passionate enough. Number 1, recognize your highest calling as early as possible in life. Why were you born? What were you put on this earth to do? A highest calling is beyond your personal vision or mission. It's your destiny, and recognizing it should be your first priority. Number 2, know where you're going. Create a personal vision or mission statement. Figure out how to put that highest calling to work and how you will integrate it into the different parts of your life. Number 3, figure yourself out. Spend time in introspection. The ability to turn inside, examine yourself, and learn from your successes and mistakes is absolutely essential if you want to make it big. Number 4, act with integrity. Live up to your own idea of who you are. Live up to the best of who you can be rather than settling for anything else. Number 5, be sensitive to life's lessons and learn from them. Life always presents us with lessons. Some are pleasant and some are not. It's up to you to recognize those lessons when they come and learn from them as quickly and as well as possible. Number 6, don't compromise your beliefs or person ever. Nothing is worth lying about when it comes to who you are and what you believe. It's far better to cut yourself loose from the situation and find something where you can be yourself. Number 7, each of us has not only a professional talent, but a spiritual one as well. Find yours and apply it. A spiritual talent is that feeling inside that nudges us to do something selfless for others, to contribute, and give back in recognition of both the gifts we've received and our common humanity in others. Part 2. Stake your territory. Create a unique brand for you in your life. A lot of success begins with branding. There are two aspects to branding. First is your personal brand, the one you create for yourself. The second brand, the public brand, is about relationships and how others perceive you. Here's how to establish a unique brand and create a marketplace for yourself and your business. 8. To live an extraordinary life, you must resist the ordinary. Ordinary is what most people settle for. Extraordinary people break away from the ordinary and make sure their lives matter. To be extraordinary, you have to be willing to set yourself apart from your peers and do what they will not do. You have to put in the work that will create extraordinary results in whatever field you choose. Living an extraordinary life has little to do with what you do, it's more of a function of how you do it. Number 9. Find and fill a niche, an area that you believe is missing in the marketplace. The best niches are found in areas that 1. That are missing altogether, 2. That are underserved, 3. That are ripe for innovation and or improvement, or 4. Where demand far exceeds supply. To find your niche, you must start by knowing yourself. Understand where your strengths lie and what your interests are, and based on that, choose a marketplace. Then look for areas where there is room for improvement. Number 10. Apply true focus to what you do best. Do not be distracted outside your niche. Concentration and focus are important in building success. Unfortunately, it's very easy to get distracted, but pour all of your energy and focus into making your dream a reality. Especially in the early stages of an entrepreneurial career, you have to make up your mind and stick to what you believe is your highest calling. Number 11. Have a passion for what you do, both at work and at home. To stand out in your marketplace and create an extraordinary life, you must have passion. To make a name for yourself, to create a presence in the marketplace, and most of all, put life in your life, you must have passion. Number 12. Don't let others deter your entrepreneurial passion or enthusiasm. When you're first getting started, you'll hear things like, you're too young or you don't have the experience. Don't let the naysayers get you down. Ignore them. You must draw on your courage, confidence, intelligence, and passion to pull you through. You must believe in yourself so much that no one can deter you. Number 13, learn from highly respected, successful people. Some of the most important learning we can get comes from other people. Experience is the best teacher, but other people's experiences are great too. Talk to successful people and learn from them. Number 14, once you're able to love yourself, don't hesitate to let others know. Develop the essential component of self-esteem. Many people think loving yourself is nothing but ego on the rampage, but that's not it at all. It means you're willing to say, yes, I am good at this. Yes, I have value as a person. Yes, I deserve the space I occupy on this earth. Entrepreneurs must have ego. It's the only way they would attempt the things that they do. Self-love and self-esteem allow you to learn from your mistakes and failures instead of wallowing in them and then move on. You should love what you do and who you are becoming in the process, and you shouldn't be afraid to let others know it. Number 15, set yourself apart and celebrate your individuality, yet include humility. Everyone should celebrate his or her individuality. Anything that sets you and your product apart from the crowd is to your advantage. We are all unique expressions of humanity, and we deserve to let our talents shine. You can let yourself shine as long as it's balanced with a healthy dose of humility. Part 3. Take the lunch pail approach while answering your highest calling. Once you have a vision you're passionate about and you've found a niche in a marketplace in which you want to develop a brand for yourself, the next part is getting out there and doing the work. 16. Do your job, do it well, and do it every day. The only way you're going to make it in the world is through hard work. You've got to apply yourself every single day. There's no substitute for your own effort. Number 17. Persevere towards your ideal of spiritual fulfillment, happiness, dream, or goal each day. It's great to have a vision, but if you're not out there day after day making it happen, it's only a pipe dream. The mission, vision, dream, or goal gives your work a reason, but persevering in that work makes your vision real. 18. Proactively and creatively persist day in and day out. Persistence is what makes it happen on the days you're not faced with obstacles. You have to keep at it no matter what, whether you're feeling great about your job or not, whether you have $1 million in the bank or your last dollar in your pocket. Number 19, learn something new each day and forget the lure of pride. Ask yourself, what can I do better today than yesterday? When pride means you think you know it all, then you're in trouble. Being too proud to learn usually leads to the death of success. Admit mistakes and learn from them. Hear things you don't particularly want to know because it will make you a better business person and human being. Number 20, sit on the other side of the desk first. Think about the client's needs or concerns. This will help create relationships that are satisfying to both parties. Number 21, think win-win, be fair, then close the deal. Win-win begins by listening to the other side and truly hearing what they are saying. When you understand what you want, then you can construct a deal that will feel like a win for them too. Both sides need to feel good about the outcome. Number 22, avoid vices and unhealthy temptations as they suck the life out of progress and success. Almost anything that you overindulge in that drains your energy or stops you from accomplishing what you want is an unhealthy vice. Number 23, you must be disciplined. Go to bed early and get up early. There is no more important foundation for making it big than discipline. Discipline turns your personal vision into reality. 24, organization is the key to success. The best thing about organization is that it allows you to be extremely efficient with your time. Organization makes responsibility and accountability possible. Part 4. Take risks. They're the difference between a $30,000 fixer-upper and a $30 million mansion on speculation. The primary difference between success and failure lies in your willingness to take risks. All progress results from people who have had the courage to push the envelope and see how high they can go. Number 25. Gently yet often exercise your risk threshold like a muscle. Eventually, it will become stronger and able to withstand greater pressure. Risk is scary. How do we overcome fear? Start small. Building your risk muscle is a process that in no time can be revolutionary because you will revolt against the no's in your life. 26. Never gamble. Calculate the maximum amount of risk you feel you can afford to take. You can probably think of many instances where taking a risk proved to be a smart choice for you. Why did you succeed? I bet you researched your choices and spent time thinking about the risks, both the upsides and the downsides. That's the basis of sound decision making. Number 27, trust and act on your gut feeling. We all have that intuitive little voice inside us, but very few of us act on it. Gut instinct is a valid voice in the decision-making process. 28, make a commitment to yourself to say yes more than no. Don't hesitate. We need to push past our comfort zones. We need to get in the habit of saying yes as our first reaction. Number 29, be prepared to fail before you succeed. You will make mistakes. Learn from them. Number 30, live in the future instead of the past. Use your imagination, not memory, when making decisions. Look towards the future. Number 31, celebrate each humble victory as a triumphant achievement. Build your confidence. Building your confidence muscle is an essential part of making it big. Celebrate all of your success, however small. Part 5, make a difference. Live a life that matters. Without a focus on making a difference in the lives of others, success may seem sweet, but it will ultimately be empty. Welcome opportunities to make a difference. 32. Use your success to help others. Many of us are fortunate to be blessed with the ability to succeed, not for our sole benefit, but that so we may apply the result of our success to assist others. 33. You cannot brighten another's path without lighting your own. When you help others, you help yourself. 34. Be honest and truthful with others as well as yourself. If you do this, you'll not only make it big, but you'll also deserve your success. Number 35. When your conscience speaks, you'd better listen. Conscience is the voice of your integrity. Listen to it. Number 36. Truly feel compassion. Compassion means considering the consequences of your own decisions in the light of how they will affect other people. Every opportunity for compassion is an opportunity for you to be a hero or a heroine in someone's life. 37. Give more than you receive. To stand out from the crowd, your product has to be perceived as having value over your competitors. If you provide exceptional value in every area of your life, giving your best efforts to your business, family, and community, then your life will reflect that high level of quality. Number 38. Approach life knowing there will always be plenty to go around. So be generous. This means believing there are enough clients, business, and opportunity to go around. Use common sense, of course, but let your generous heart have a vote in any decision. 39. Leave an enduring legacy. You are building your legacy every day. It's up to you what it is. Part 6. Enjoy the ride. You can follow every philosophy in the summary, but without joy, your life will be dry. Put some in your life. 40. Enjoy the 97% and adore the 3%. If we're fortunate, 97% of our ordinary life is spent pursuing the extraordinary 3%. Enjoy the 97% and recognize and adore the 3% as extraordinary golden moments. 41. Take time to recharge your battery. You won't get the golden egg without first taking care of the goose. Take care of yourself. Number 42. Never grow up and consistently renew. Keep in touch with your sense of spontaneity, wonder, and renewal. Stay young at heart. 43. Resist the temptation to act like an adult. Never lose the little girl or boy inside. Don't lose the child in you that explored the world and faced the future with boundless energy and excitement. 44. Fall in love. Don't hesitate to show your affection. Don't hesitate on anything. Love is one of the greatest experiences we can have. Love for friends, kids, hobbies, charities, anything. Put love in everything without hesitation. Number 45. Approach each day with flair. If you find, accept, and develop your own sense of flair, you can actually enjoy taking the lead in your profession. Number 46. Each day you are on the concert stage of life, so you'd better make it rock. Put more of yourself, your energy, and your drive into your day. Number 47. Laugh often. And make sure you're able to laugh at yourself. Number 48. Live your life with no regrets. When you're older, what will you say from your rocking chair? Number 49, there's always one more. Keep learning, growing, and exploring. And make it big. I hope you enjoyed that summary as much as we did reading the book and creating it. And I hope it inspires you to go out and make your own dent in the universe, whatever that means for you. So now it's time for the next section of this video. The most important thing I've ever uncovered from reading hundreds of business books. This is where I promised I'm going to introduce you to something that's going to have an enormous impact on your life in the next few years. Here's a stat that surprised me. And it's from a book called The Rich Employee by James Altucher. The average multi-millionaire in the United States has 7 streams of income. Not 2, not 3, not 5, but 7. That's a large number of streams of income. And I think most people these days, you probably included, have 1 stream of income. And that's where most of the world lives. But the world's most wealthy people understand that they need many streams of income in order to diversify their risk. Another thing that's going on right now is that it's never been easier to earn a side income. Whether you use a service like Airbnb or Uber to rent out things that you own, or you're doing some tasks on TaskRabbit or on Elance, it's never been easier to earn a side income doing micro tasks along the way. But the same forces that are making it easier for you to earn a side income are making it easier for employers to cut their permanent workforce and hire contractors. One of the hottest books right now in the corporate world is called Exponential Organizations, which is in part telling leaders to figure out how to tap into the crowd. So basically, how to hire people outside your company to do your job. Using contractors instead of employees, as it turns out, saves organizations 30% of their costs. Now, you don't need to be a math major to understand that this is an enormous number, especially in this world where companies are trying to figure out how to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% growth in their bottom line. This is something that they can do immediately to grow their bottom line. Another less celebrated book is the book Raw Deal, which lays out the reasons why this coming change is going to screw the workers of the world. So this shift that's going on right now is going to be great for companies. And if you're not ready for it, it's going to be horrible for you. You're at a company, and one day you get a letter from the Human Resources Department, and it reads something like this. Dear Max, your position has been replaced by Marissa. Marissa lives in the Philippines and has a degree from a London university that is more than happy to earn $10 an hour doing the exact same work you're doing. Best regards, Human Resources. You know, this is a challenge. A lot of your work is being outsourced to areas of the world where it can be done cheaper. This is not a new trend. This has been going on for a long time. So not only are your jobs being outsourced to people who can do it cheaper and people who can do it and not be a permanent employee, they're also being outsourced to robots and artificial intelligence. And this is where the world gets incredibly scary. Here's just a few examples. The University of California, San Francisco has a bunch of pharmacists that are now being replaced by a machine called PillPick. Pharmacists no longer have to go and pick the pills that you need. A machine does it for them. AOL laid off its entire ad sales team and replaced them with technology. Sales teams are now being replaced by technology. Auditoriums full of lawyers are now replaced by a discovery software program where one lawyer can do the work of 500. So we're talking about very highly paid professionals who are very skilled in what they do being replaced by technology. And where it gets, into the realm of almost science fiction, but it's so strange it's true, software can now write news stories that journalists used to write. So a lot of those news stories you're reading online these days, written by robots. So we're coming into a world where everything is shifting, and no matter where you work or what you do, there's a high probability that your job is going to be disrupted in the very near future. Let's take a look at some numbers. 34% of the workforce today either A, works on the side, or B, owns their own business. Fast forward to 2020, and that number is going to go up to 50%. Some of which because they can, and this is an enormous opportunity for those who see it that way, and most of those will be doing it because they must. They don't have a choice. We're entering what most people are starting to call the age of the entrepreneur, where more than half of the workforce will be the CEO of their own company. And what the world's richest people know, that business is all about mitigating risk and not taking it. There's a misconception that entrepreneurship is about risk-taking, and the best entrepreneurs will tell you, well, it's actually the opposite. It's all about mitigating risk. And one of the most important things you need to do to mitigate risk in the next 4 years, whether you're an employee at a business right now, or whether you're an entrepreneur just starting out, or an entrepreneur who's been in business for a long time, you need to start thinking about how to generate multiple streams of income. So here's how you succeed in the age of the entrepreneur, or how we can help you succeed in the age of the entrepreneur. Number one, you can use Readitfor.me to grow your mind and keep on top of the latest business ideas and signal to your network that you know more than just your skill. Number two, you can continuously be in touch with your network so you can remain top of mind for new opportunities. And number three, we're going to help you create multiple streams of income. So now it's time to talk about that. Let's talk about how you can create a multiple streams of income in your life. There are 3 ways to create a passive revenue stream worth potentially thousands of dollars a year through our three-tier affiliate system just by using our service. The first way is to share Readitfor.me with other growth-minded individuals. Like we said, you get an email from us at 6 a.m. every weekday. You copy and paste the blue portion. You can edit it if you want, and share it with your network through LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. You can send it by email, however you like. And that's one way that you can share Readitfor.me. And the link in the email at the bottom there, you can see where the arrow is pointing, is your referral link. And you can use that to earn a 25% commission off of every sale that we make from your network. Your network gets a 30-day free trial as opposed to a 7-day free trial. So you're offering them something that they cannot get anywhere else, at least unless they know one of our other partners. If you have an email list already, if you have a large email list that you send emails to on a regular basis, we can create a special landing page and an ad campaign just for you. Email me at steve@readitfor.me and we can send you some more details about that. What we've been seeing from these campaigns, and if you have an email list, you'll understand these metrics. We've seen about an EPC from anywhere from $4 to $8 a click, which means for every click you send through to our website, we're sending back to you between $4 and $8, depending on the audience that you have on your email list. Some of the partners we've already paid well into the 5 figures in the first few months of the launch. So this works incredibly well. If you have an email list that you'd love to use to promote Readitfor.me, it's a great fit, especially if you have a growth-minded email list. So that's the first way. The second way is you can share Readitfor.me with other people who have large communities. So other people, for instance, who have large email lists. You introduce us to the creators of popular blogs and podcasts or social media groups, and you earn 5% of the revenue we generate from them. So we will share the first tier commission with that author, with that blogger, with that podcaster, or even, people who run groups on LinkedIn, groups on Facebook. We have one partner who has a publication on Medium. So The idea is that if you are familiar with these people, they might know who you are. You can introduce us to them and you can earn 5% of the revenue from there. We'll give you everything you need in order to introduce us to those people. I might even do an interview with the podcast if that's something that the podcaster is interested in. I've done a bunch of these over the past few months. Here's just one example of Side Hustle Nation interviewed me a few weeks ago. We created a special offer for his listeners, and he recently reached out to me and said that this was the highest downloaded episode he's ever seen. So I do a pretty good job on these podcasts, and if you introduce me to them, I'll do a good job of getting on and getting this offer in front of them. So that's the second way, and it's very easy, very simple email introduction you need to make. The third way is, again, this is another simple way to do this. Just share Read It For Me with companies in your network, and you can even do this with your own company. Now, there's a few things you need to know about this in order to make this attractive for you, but e-learning is a market that's growing just exponentially, from $165 billion this year to $240 billion in 2023. These are billions with B's. That's an enormous market. It's enormous today, but it is only going to get bigger. So that market is huge. And the fastest growing segment in this market is training for millennials who demand video training. And we are the only summary provider who brings this kind of service to corporations that does it by video. Now, we work with the leadership development programs in some of the world's largest and most respected companies, so we have great case studies backing us up here. And one of the biggest trends in the corporate learning world is self-directed learning. If you can ask anybody in learning in HR, this is a topic that's become very important. It's a trend that is being touted as one of the biggest trends in e-learning and learning, any kind of learning, really. And what happens here is that employees are given the latitude to identify their own learning needs, and then the company funds them. So all you need to do is introduce us to somebody in your network who has the ability to purchase multiple subscriptions. This person most likely has the title of director, VP, president, owner, CEO, those types of people who have budgets, who can spend on their employees, who report to them. We'll even give you a free annual subscription to gift to that person. So let's just say, the VP of marketing at HBO. We'll give you a free annual subscription that you can gift to them with no strings attached to make the introduction easy. You say, hey, here's this free annual subscription that I got for you from this company called Read It For Me. Enjoy it. And then what we do from there is we take it from there. Once they've checked out the service through an email series that we send to them, once they like it, and this is important because for us, this only works if they like it. So we are going to do a very good job of making sure that they like it before we reach out to them. Then we pitch the person on the Read It For Me program by asking them to give their employees a 30-day trial of the service and only funding it for the ones who want to move forward with the service. And this is important for a lot of reasons. We're going to most often use the lifetime offer, which is $250 an employee, as the lead offer, along with our charitable giving program, where we give 25% of the revenue to a charity of our customer's choice. This is something that is a feel-good thing for everybody involved, and it makes the conversation a lot easier. But this ends up being a win for the company in so many different ways. Number one, it fits the learning model they are starting to use and will use moving forward, that self-directed model. So, it takes advantage of a trend that they'll need to be perceived as following. They'll be blazing the trail in their company. Number two, they only pay for people who use it, which is what most companies want to do. They only want to pay for people who are going to be using these things, but when they do use them, they are easily convinced to pay. And with the price point that we're at, $250 for a lifetime, is peanuts for them. Number three, they get the goodwill of their employees for funding something that will last a lifetime instead of a year, or being the only person, only having it available while the person is at the company. And number four, they get the goodwill of giving back to the community. Wrapped up in all this is the goodwill of participating with charitable donations in their community. And lastly, number five, all of this happens with no or little administrative burden. We handle everything on our end. So we take basically all of the objections off the table. And the only thing they're left with is, will my people use it? And that's the last objection we've gotten rid of by allowing their users or allowing their employees to use our service before they make that decision. You win by keeping 5% of the revenue we generate through the program, all for a simple email introduction that comes along with a gift that you can give to that person. The last thing is we will also refund your lifetime subscription if they decide to move forward with a company plan. So you have this added bonus of getting your lifetime subscription refunded if they move forward with that company plan. To top it all off, the cherry on top of the sundae, getting them to look at it is very easy because we have testimonials from people that your network knows and trusts, like Dan Pink, like we've already suggested, and Tony Hsieh, like we've already suggested. So a lot of great things wrapped up in a simple program for you to just send a couple of emails and to potentially generate thousands of dollars inside passive income. So who's doing this already? Or, you might be asking yourself, yeah, that's great for other people. This is great for people who already have email lists or people who are in X situation, but not me. Here's the type of people who are doing this already. We have students who are doing this. We have solo entrepreneurs, freelancers, network marketers, bloggers, corporate employees, owners of multi-million-dollar businesses, people you would never think would do this in a million years, doctors, lawyers, accountants, and the list goes on and on. So if you can see yourself in one of these categories, or you can just see yourself as somebody who likes to share great information with their network, you can earn a side income with Readit.me as well. So the ball is back in your court. It's up to you now. You need to make a decision. But first, before you make that decision, I want to give you a guarantee. Try it out for 30 days, and if you want your money back for any reason at all, doesn't matter what the reason is, we'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. Because we know that if you're not happy with this, you are not going to be a great ambassador for us, and frankly, we want you to spend your money and invest your money in something that's going to provide you a return that you're happy with. So now it's decision time. You've got an offer in front of you where you can save $1,249 on your lifetime membership. It's $250 for you today. The regular price, like we said, is $14.99. It's lower than our annual price. The decision really is quite easy. And more importantly than saving this money, you are giving yourself the gift of lifelong learning with all the benefits that come along with that, and also giving yourself the gift of passive income. Click on the button on the screen, follow the prompts, and you'll be in the community, in the tribe, becoming and continuing to be a lifelong learner. If you've got any questions about this, simply email me at steve@Readitfor.me. I'll be checking emails until the end of the day. And I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you so much for spending your time. I know how busy you are. I know how important your time is. And I want to congratulate you and thank you for being here. And with that, this video is concluded.